What's going on, guys? So I am no artist by any means, but what I have drawn up here is a picture of the pelvis bone and our femur, which is our leg bone, as well as our vertebrae, our back, okay? And a cause of lower back pain can be from a muscle complex called the iliopsoas joint. The iliopsoas joint is comprised of the psoas major, the psoas minor, and the iliacus. And all of those perform flexion at the knee joint, which is flexion of bringing your knee into you. So those are the muscles that allow for you to do that. The psoas major, which is one of the bigger ones, it attaches on your vertebrae from your from your thoracic T12 through L5. It's comprised of attaches to all those vertebrae, and then it actually inserts on what's called your lesser trochanter of your femur, which is your leg bone. So it actually goes from your back and all the way down, and it inserts on your lesser trochanter of your femur, which is a large region for a muscle to encompass. The psoas minor, which is going to be a little bit smaller, it's from your T12 to your L1, so your thoracic number 12 vertebrae to your L1, which is your lower lumbar, which is your lower back, and it inserts on your pelvis. So your pubic bone or your pelvis, it inserts there. So it doesn't go down as far as the psoas major. The other muscle group that helps flexion of the knee joint is the iliacus, and that inserts in the upper 2/3 of your ilium, which is your hip bone, and it inserts as well on your lesser trochanter, your femur. Now, just like the psoas major, it inserts lesser trochanter, iliacus inserts on those two. So what happens is if these get tight, they shorten. If they shorten, that means that they're gonna pull your pelvis forward because they're getting a lot tighter, okay? Your pelvis sits in what's called neutral alignment, and what happens is if it gets tight, it's going to get that forward tilt. And what happens is your glutes become weak, your hamstrings become weak, because these are on overload. They're pulling everything forward because they're getting short. We're constantly in a seated position this way, so what happens is they shorten. And for those that have desk jobs, for those that are seated, truck drivers, this is what happens, is these muscle groups get really, really tight. Your iliopsoas muscle complex, which is the three muscles that we just talked about, they get really, really tight. It pulls your pelvis forward, and what happens is your lower back gets really tight. And for most people, when we have back issues, we recommend, hey, go out for a walk. Don't stay seated, because what's going to happen is this is going to get worse. Don't stay seated, go out for a walk. And everyone's like, you know what, I feel a lot better. It's because these muscle joints are becoming a lot more loose. So if you're having lower back pain, it could be very, very well that it's your iliopsoas muscle joint. And it pulls the pelvis forward, it presses on your lower back, your glutes get weak. So what we would do is we would focus on mobility, flexibility, get your range of motion increased, and then we strengthen the muscles that this is working against. So this has become really, really aggressive forward, so we want to strengthen up your glutes, your hamstrings, and your lower back, and that's how you counteract the iliopsoas muscle being pulled forward. If you have any questions, kshantraining.com. Reach out to us there. We're free to answer any questions. Thank you.